Can I test the audio? Hey guys, this is my first time going live on YouTube. So I kind of just want to like test out the audio too to see if that's even working. Okay, because I don't have an external mic plugged up. I don't know what just happened. Let me know if you guys can hear if you're coming in. That would be really helpful. Or I could just watch this back when it's done, but I'd like to know before we go through the whole thing. It just like started reconnecting again too, so I'm not sure if it's gonna keep doing that. I don't know if it's buffering or what, because my internet's good. So just let me know if you guys can hear. Can I see that if you guys were to let me know? Okay. Let's see. Okay, got it. All right, I'm gonna give it like 3 minutes before I just start like talking, just to make sure it's not gonna do that buffering and like reconnecting again, because I would hate for it to cut off in the middle of everything. I can't believe I'm freaking live on YouTube. I have not gone live on YouTube yet. I've gone live on Instagram before. It's the freaking new moon in Leo, man. It's time. Also, I know it's like a weird time. It's kind of early. My schedule has been changing a lot, quickly, rapidly. So I do plan on going live more. So we'll see what's a good time like for everyone. I mean, everybody is probably not gonna be able to agree on one time, but I know this time's kind of early. People are at work, people are commuting, so I get it. I just kind of want to test it out. You know what I mean? Make sure that you guys can hear me well and that we have a good connection. That it looks great. It looks better than I thought it was gonna look on YouTube Live. And then we're gonna get into these messages that have been super intense since like the Lionsgate portal, I would say. Very intense since the Lionsgate portal, and everything has been moving very fast. And then we had the new moon in Leo yesterday, which I feel like just was super charged. It was very electrifying. I'm sure a lot of you felt that. Okay, like literally buzzing. It felt very active, very like the momentum was very, very strong. Like we're definitely on a new timeline. We're definitely on a new timeline. So that's what I want to talk about. Just some of that there. And then I might pull cards for all signs too. If of course if the live doesn't like cut and act weird, even though my Wi-Fi is good. Yeah. All right, let me check before we get into it. If I do pull cards too for all signs, I will timestamp this after everything's done. So I'll make sure I mark it down so that I can timestamp it as soon as the live is over. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Like I said, I know it's a weird time, so you guys jump in, come back and watch this whenever you have the time. It's kind of early in the morning. I know people are, kind of getting their day started, kind of already into their day. So that is perfectly fine. So you saw in the title that it said you are not regressing. Okay. I felt spirit like when I was writing down all the downloads I was getting for this, because I have hella downloads. From, like I said, from the Lionsgate portal up into this new moon that we just had, and really like all through Leo season, which makes sense because the Lionsgate portal, excuse me, is open in Leo season. So it's not just open on 8/8. It is already opened up. Okay, like at the start of summer. Okay, all the way up to like the 12th or so of August. So we have been feeling this energy. And when I pulled this book out to write down the downloads, I thought it was so freaking weird, okay? That, y'all know I haven't done the astrology videos on here in a while. That will be coming back, but I just want to revamp it, and I have some plans for that. But I thought it was so weird that when I picked up this book, okay, that I usually do all that work in, I do all my transits and everything, I write all my downloads down in this book. This paper fell out. Okay, this amongst others that go along with this. This was the astrology breakdown that I had done for the new moon in Leo on July 28th, 2022. Okay, so this is last year. And in there, I had referenced, of course, the new moon in Leo, but I also talked about the Chiron being in Aries, right? And so I was reading through this and I'm like, if this is not what all of these energies have been about, okay, with this Lionsgate and the new moon, like the shit just blew my mind, okay? So I'm just going to read a little bit of that, literally just like one little excerpt. Did it cut off? I don't know what it's doing when it says reconnecting. So I don't know if it's buffering. I don't know if it's completely cutting the live or not. So this is as much as a test for me. Okay. So bear with me, bear with the stream. Okay. Bear with YouTube. I'll watch this back and see what all that means, because the time is still going. So it doesn't look like it started over. I hope not. All right. The Three of Wands reverse. This is what I wrote on that. There is an old wound that sits at your very core. You have tried to heal it through relationships and seeking outside validation. These thought patterns that constantly tear you down have been embedded since a youth. You are constantly seeking perfection because you were made to believe you always had to be. Because of this, your mind is constantly in the future. You are constantly yearning for a life outside of where you are right now. Mind you, this is what I wrote July 28, 2022, okay? Keep that in mind. You tear down your own progress and achievements before anyone else has the chance to. As quickly as you get a bright idea, you begin to work out all the ways it won't work. This core wound will follow you no matter how many accolades you try to stack on top of it. You have got to release the need to be perfect in every endeavor. In fact, take advantage of these Leo energies and tap into your inner child. Dance like no one is watching. Do something embarrassing and laugh at yourself. Express your opinions and stand 10 toes down on them. 10 toes down, meaning like stand on what you say. Have an opinion, express it, own it, say that it's your opinion, okay? If you want to say no, do so without guilt. This has been a big one. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. If you're feeling sexy, okay, you're feeling fun, you're feeling extra vivacious out here, share the energy, put on your flashy outfit, put on that thing they told you couldn't wear, you shouldn't wear, okay? And during that time, I was telling you guys, these are such tough energies, but I swear, this work you do, excuse me, will truly lift an energetic burden up off you, okay? Because the resistance you feel is your inner child begging and pleading with you to hear them, okay? So this brings me into the whole you are not regressing. Okay. And this is what I felt, because we talk all the time, right? Especially about Leo season, and how it's all about authenticity. It's about operating from the heart space, because Leo is connected to the heart. Okay. Leo moves from the heart space. It is that zodiac sign that sits at the heart, literally, even in the zodiac wheel. So it is about moving in that way, being exactly who you are, all parts of yourself, though. That's the thing. So I had this experience, right, through around this Lionsgate energy, between this Lionsgate energy and the new moon, where there was this particular energy that it was just, it felt so difficult to overcome, so difficult to alchemize, okay, this situation. And I was still in this position where I was like, it's not me. You know what I mean? I'm doing everything. I'm being such a kind person. I've given so many chances. I'm being the stand-up person. I am. I'm being the good guy. I am doing what my higher self wants me to do, right? But here's the gag, right? Underneath all of that, right? You can say that this is what I feel like these energies were saying. All this work that we've been doing, as far as like shadow work, working on ourselves, you could say all that. You can move through this life under the guise of being just this, oh, I'm just the bigger person. I'm just this great person because I've given all these chances, and I keep, extending myself, overextending myself, when deep down you don't really want to do that. You don't really want to be saying yes. You don't really want to be continuously giving chances. And that's what I feel like the spirit world was asking of us during this time. It's like, no, you're not regressing. These are the things that you called in, okay? Everything that's coming in or that's about to come into your, these are the things that you called in, whether you know it or not, okay? Um, but you have to bring all of you into this new part. So you can't bring a facade. You can't come into this new timeline under a facade, under the guise of, oh, I'm such a great person. Oh my God. They just walk all over me, but I'm such a great person. It's not going to fly, because spirit is going to show you, who you really are. Okay. And that is what I feel. It's definitely what happened. And what it showed me was, you did this. You called this in. This is a result of lack of boundaries. Okay. This is a result of you continuing to say yes to stuff when you know damn well you didn't want to do it in the first place. Okay. We really, I feel like a lot of us during this time could have really been exposed to what our shadow really is. Okay, who we really are. And that's not to say that that light part of yourself, that part that does genuinely want to help people, that does genuinely extend yourself to people, that's not to say that's not who you really are, but this part is you too. And what the lesson that I got from that is, my shadow wouldn't have, because at that point, okay, where I felt like, listen, I've been overextending myself. I've been being kind. I've been being nice. You know what I mean? At that point, my shadow had it. Okay. My shadow was like, I'm sick of this shit. Okay. And anger ensues, rage ensues. You'll lash out. Okay. Or whatever that is that your shadow is just trying to get you to acknowledge. Okay. So essentially, what I saw in myself, okay, what came out, what came about myself, was something that I had been, let's say, demonizing the other party for, or the other energy for. Okay. When if I could have, that energy would have never been in my life, right? Or I never would have made contact with that energy, had any interaction with that energy, any experiences, if that too were not a part of me. And so what it showed me was that use that part of yourself. Yes, this is a part of you. These things that you're trying to demonize about another, you also have those same parts, but you can alchemize them by acknowledging them, okay, and then using them in more productive ways, right? Like my shadow wouldn't have had to got to that point of blowing up, okay, and letting them up to know I'm not the one to play with, if I would have just let them know I'm not the one to play with from the beginning, by just laying down firm boundaries, okay, by just saying no, I don't want to do this, by just expressing how I feel. Hey, this is making me feel this way, okay. um so I feel like that's been the big energies here. So if you felt around that new moon in Leo that things were kind of like haywire, or that, it was kind of intense, um you're not regressing. Like that was part of the plan. Okay, that was part of the plan, just so that you could see you need this part of yourself. You can't continue going on under the guise again of, oh, I'm just loving light, peace, okay, kosher, everything's, that's beautiful. That's great. But you also have this other part of yourself. And so it's time to really tap into that. And so this is gonna, or this could have played out in many different areas, right? This can be in your personal relationships, of course, and most importantly, right? That's like the big energy. Platonic relationships, romantic relationships, familial relationships, work relationships, okay? Because I've also seen it playing out in work for some people as well. Um, Continuing to find themselves in positions or jobs where they're overworked, underpaid, um, doing things outside of their like job description and not getting the extra paper. It's just in all of these different areas where you really have to own who you are, like own all of those parts. Say no. Okay, it's time to start saying no. It's really time to bring those quote unquote darker parts into your light being. Okay, you cannot leave any part behind. And that's what I feel like this portal, okay, was about. Like, you got to go forward. And also, when I started this, I wanted to say, like, these messages are not for the unaccountable. It's just not. If you are still at that place, and that's okay, this is not about, oh, you can't sit over here. It's not about that. It's just like, if you're still at that place where you're going, well, they did, and well, why do I keep getting, and well, this keeps happening. If you're not at the place where you're ready to look within, that's okay. That's okay. But at some point, that has to be a part of your journey. Okay, so for those of you who have experienced that and you felt like you were regressing, I am definitely here to tell you you are not regressing. Okay, this is a part of the process, and you were just shown who you really are. You were just shown who you really are. And for some of you, this could have also happened through other people. Like perhaps you didn't have a personal experience like I did, but I also got this download that you could have been witnessing, okay, this with other people. Like, say, for instance, two people outside of yourself. You see them going back and forth, but you see yourself in one of them, right? And you're able to clock it as soon as you see it. You're like, oh shit, I be doing that. Oh shit, that's what that is. Oh my God, that's what that looks like. Okay. And it's just a simple acknowledgement. I had a client call me about that yesterday, a Scorpio, and asking me, well, what is the shadow work? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? And it's just about, if I can just try to put it simply, okay, it's really about holding space for those parts that you try to hide away from people. Okay, all that shit you don't want nobody to see. All right, for whatever reason, because we all have our reasons, and that's the point, is to get to that why. Why are you deeming this part of yourself unacceptable? Why are you deeming this part of yourself unlovable? All right. So when the person called me and asked me, I just simply told them it's about holding space for that part of yourself. Okay. Because the reason why, for those of you especially, okay, who feel like you are in these karmic relationships with lovers, okay, for those of you especially, it's about recognizing that you're not much different. Okay, that's very deep. You're not much different. And that can be a real big, like, jarring aha moment for some people. Like, what do you mean? you know, because you've been saying all this stuff about them. So well, what are you saying? We're not that different, you know. But it's really about that, and it's not about demonizing anyone. Okay, it's about recognizing where that part, where the parts of those people that you're trying to demonize, recognizing where they sit within yourself, then getting to the root of it. Okay, where did that come from? Where did it start? Where did this anger come from? Where did your jealousy come from? Where did you hiding your uniqueness? Where did that come from? Who told you that you should do that? Who told you it wasn't cool? Who told you it was ugly? You know, so it's been a lot of those vibes going on here. So a lot of you could have also felt like you have been confronted by like your inner child, things that have you thought you long put away. Okay, but for some of us, we had just been masking it. Okay, we had just been masking and people pleasing and shape shifting. Okay, and your spirit, okay, your shadow, which is a part of your spirit, is just not having it anymore. So, welcome to the new timeline where you're truly authentic, okay? And you're saying what's on your mind. This doesn't mean that you're rude or anything like that. This is what I'm saying about integrating the shadow in a productive manner. Okay, in a manner that's really going to help you. And I also feel like this has a lot to do with the node shifting into Aries and Libra, which happened over the summer as well, about a month or so ago, give or take. Um, you know, so yeah, there's been a lot of energies here. Like I said, I know that it's a weird time, but I would love to know what you guys have been experiencing during this time, seriously. Like, because the integration has been real. The integration has been real. Now when you start to do this, you know what I mean, when you start to acknowledge these things within yourself, what that does, again, it's alchemy. It's alchemy. Okay, you're working with energy. So when you start to do that, you will start to notice relationships, you know, in your life, personally, whatever, how you relate to, you will start to notice these relationships alchemizing themselves. You know, whether that mean that some of these relationships are going to fall off, you know, some of these relationships may just transform, okay, into a higher vibration. All right. But it's all because you are able to hold space for yourself. It's not even, and just by doing that, you're able to recognize what you've been trying to quote unquote demonize or get someone to change or alchemize in someone else. Because you alchemize it in yourself, you're able to easily recognize it, hold space for that person, and not engage. You know, you don't have to get down and dirty with them. You don't have to go back and forth with them. You know, you recognize, you're able to throw compassion at it and either keep it moving or whatever you want, whatever you choose to do in that relationship. All right, but it's not this monkey on your back anymore. Because another big thing before I pull cards, because I think I am going to pull cards for all signs. Another big thing is this whole thing of not wanting to be the bad guy. That's why I'm saying you can't go through this life under the guise of like, oh, I'm such a good person. I overextended myself all these times and they keep walking over me, but I'm just gonna keep being a good person. Like, that's not that. That's not that. And that's, we can't live in that delusion or that illusion any longer. Okay, you're not a bad person for saying no. You're not a bad person for having boundaries. And I feel like I'm picking up on somebody who's like, well, duh, you know, but some people truly don't know that. Okay, I was one of those people who truly did not know that. And you have to really trace that back, right? We don't come into this world feeling like that, you know? We come into this world whole. Okay, I was born underwater with $3.06. Okay, if you know, you know. All right, that's the Erica Badu line. Complete, a full circle. You come into this life with everything, right? So some people need to know that, like, it's okay. And some people, I think, I'm gonna say it. Okay. I feel like sometimes dogma, especially like religious dogma, and that's not to come at anybody or anything like that, but I think that that can have a big impact on making people feel afraid of enforcing their boundaries. Is this whole thing, like I said, about being the bigger person and, you know, turning the other cheek and things like that. Which I think a lot of those things have been twisted over time, but that's a whole nother thing, okay? But I just say that to say there's a lot of guilt sometimes that comes with activating the shadow. Okay, but you need that. All right, you need that. So any facades, and I want to also say that if you are trying to come into or jump into this new timeline under these facades, they will eventually break down. And so I feel like Spirit has given a chance, okay, during this Lion's Gate to say, here's your chance, okay, take off the mask. Here's your chance. Be real. Be honest. Here's your chance to be accountable. Here's your chance to own who you are, okay? Because if you try to keep up the facade, it's gonna break down. It's gonna break down, and it'll probably come out in a more exposing way. You know what I mean? And that's not to fear anything. You know what I mean? But it'll probably come out in a way that you're not truly comfortable with. But understand that your guides, your spirit team's never there to hurt you. You know what I mean? They're not trying to purposely embarrass you or anything like that. They're just trying to get you to your goal. Okay, and a lot of you have called certain things in, you know, and so that's what's happening. Okay, and your spirit team is like, is you is or is you ain't. Okay. All right, you wanted this. All right, now you got to pull this mask off. So some of us have been taking these off in layers. Okay, and I feel like this Leo season has expedited the process. Okay, like we coming out. All right, and it's been super hot outside too, so these layers got to go. Okay, these layers have got to go, seriously. Okay, let me make sure that I did all of these downloads, and then I'm gonna pull for each of us and see what's the vibes. All of this has been a huge heart chakra awakening, heart chakra alignment, everything. It has been a huge heart chakra balance for a lot of us, especially those of us who have kind of been out of that heart chakra space for a long time. Okay, myself being one of them, you know. And I also want to say, how could I even miss this with Venus being retrograde most of the summer? A lot of this has also been about moving in your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like doing things that you authentically want to do moving forward. Okay, that also has to do with the inner child. Okay, all right, so wow, it's like 30 minutes in. Time flies. Okay, so I pulled a card for us. Crazy that the card that I pulled before I started the live was the Awakener. Okay, look at that. And a clear lion reference as well. And Awakener, right? That's literally what this feels like. Okay. This has also been along with the heart chakra, tapping into this heart chakra this season. This has been a huge ego death. This has been a huge collective ego death for those of us who've been really experiencing and aligning with these energies. This has been one freaking ego death. Like, I feel like the entire Leo season has been that. And it was just all of those inauthentic parts, all of those parts that don't align anymore. All right. Yeah. So some of you, this could have come up in relationships too. You're seeing where you're just not the same person anymore. You just don't fit in some spaces anymore. You don't click with some people anymore. You can't hold on to it. You just can't. Okay, you got to transform. And that's not to say that some of these other people might not also, transform and alchemize the energies within their life, but this is where we are. Okay, so let me read this Awakener really quick. And then I'm going to get into all signs. Okay, so it says, let me show you too. All right. The Awakener calls, listen to this, because it blew my mind when I read it. The Awakener calls us to arise from the many centuries of dreary nightmares that have kept us in thrall. Illusions, right? If he is the wise morning bird, then we are the sleepwalkers, caught in a dazed and stony dream. I even get this on like a huge collective scale. Like, y'all see what's happening. Y'all see what's happening collectively, right? A huge collective veil is being lifted. Huge collective veil is being lifted. Okay? Look around. See the glazed, blank eyes of so many distracted sleepers stumbling from one small preoccupation to another. This is what I mean about walking in your purpose, okay? Finding your true purpose, okay? And just tapping into things, because I feel like I'm hearing somebody say, well, I don't have a purpose. What is my purpose? Just tapping into things that you genuinely want to do. Stop sleeping on those things, okay? We wake up every day, you know what I'm saying? Most people wake up every day. We go to our job. You know, it's like we have become this zombie state, but we see this huge awakening happen. And I feel like we got a big taste of that with when Pluto went into Aquarius. Like the collective veil is steadily lifting. Like the curtain is just coming up. Okay. So when I read this, I was like, wow, this is right on time. So it says, see the glazed blank eyes of so many distracted sleepers stumbling from one small preoccupation to another. Is it not time to break from this state of dulled apathy? What did we just talk about? About the authenticity, about not just blindly going. That's how you become a zombie. Seriously, the struggle between the material and the spiritual is never ending. And those who have a vested interest in keeping up passive consumers will continue to feed us with syrup and lace our drinks with Mickey fins. Have we not been seeing this on a collective scale too? I wasn't even tapping into that, but literally, like, we've been seeing that on a collective scale too. Like, the veil has been lifting in so many different arenas. We have a choice. Either we sink deeper into the quicksand of docility and indifference, okay? This is you saying, okay, that docility and indifference is you, right? I'm being a good person. I did it because I'm a good person. I did it because I was turning the other cheek. I'm such a great, I'm up here. Yeah, this is that. Okay, this is that. Indifference, or we shake ourselves into light. Certainly, it isn't easy, okay, to quiet the snoring that echoes through our heads. But if we fail to arise and stand up against the dark horsemen, we will never experience the opportunity to enjoy the benefits of full consciousness. That word was right on time. Like literally when I shuffled this and this came out, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to read it. Because it says Awakener. We're in Leo season. There's a freaking lion right there, you know? And it's so crazy too. I believe this looks like an owl to me, right? Which is very wise, but it's also very much smaller, okay? Like just in size to this lion, which really, really gives me inner child. Like, okay, that shadow has a lot to do with your inner child, and it has a lot of wisdom. It's a lot that you can learn from it if you just accept those parts of yourself that are trying to tell you something. And for a lot of us, it's coming through in our connections, okay? It's coming through in those difficult romantic connections, right? That never seem to come together. That person is just so difficult, right? But it's trying to tell us something. And if we can just accept those parts of ourselves, okay, that we are calling bad in another or demonizing within another, we can alchemize the situation. We can literally jump timelines, like literally shift up out of there. All right, so I'm going to pull for all signs. Quick pull, so be kind of like a test to just trying to see the live again, y'all. This is my first time going live on YouTube. I've been live on Instagram before, and this is my first time not using an external mic too, because usually I have an external mic set up when I do, okay, sorry, when I do the videos. All right, I'm going to start with Leo because we're in Leo season, and that's just how we're going to roll with it when we do the all signs. We'll just start with the sign and the season that we're in. All right, so if you guys don't remember anything else, please remember that you are not regressing. Okay, if you experience any of these things that I've talked about so far, you're not regressing. Like, it's a part of it. It's a part of it, okay? All you have to do is just have compassion for that part of yourself. Accept that part of yourself. Have compassion for it. Okay? All right, we're going to start here. Like I said, with Leo. Happy birthday to you guys. We're wrapping up Leo season soon. All right, what did you leave behind? Okay, on that old timeline, and what's on this new one? straightforward, to the point. All right. Let me do time stamp too, so I don't have to like go back and do all that. All right, Leo. You guys are, we'll say 36. All right. Just leave everything behind. All right. Ooh, so you have the Fool here, okay? And the Nine of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you, this is about recognizing where you're able to do something yourself, okay? Especially knowing some Leos personally who have gone through this, who have been going through this, not to mention that the Fool is Aries energy, and we just talked so much about Chiron and Aries and that childhood wound, okay? So I feel like what you guys are leaving behind is some sort of codependency, okay? Feeling like you need someone, or you need a group, or you need to partner up to get something done. Not saying that any of that is bad, right? I mean, partnership, collaborations, those are all great. But I think Spirit is more so saying some of that was holding you back, okay? It was putting you in an energy of waiting, okay? And again, that's that part of ourselves, right? I can't do this because I don't have this part, or I can't do this because, wow, you know. So I feel like that's some of the things that you guys have left behind. Yeah, see, the Ace of Wands here and the Ten of Swords. Something that you wanted to start, okay, or just a passion of your, you know what I mean? It was just paired with that Ten of Swords. It felt impossible, or it felt like you couldn't do it. It felt like you couldn't start. You didn't have what you needed to do it. Okay, yeah, you have the Eight of Cups and the Three of Swords here, which I hear abort mission, abandon mission. Okay, yeah, the Moon and the Hermit. Then you would just turn all of that inward, King of Cups, Eight of Swords, and it would just paralyze you. And Spirit saying that is, you know, that's been a cycle here. What's on this new timeline for Leo? Yo, look at this. The Sun. Leo. We're in your reading, and the freaking sun comes out on this new timeline in the Page of Cups here, right? So everything, again, this is, and like I said, when we had this Fool come out, this is Aries energy, your inner child. It's time to tap more into that, okay? This seems like more fun. This seems like, I also feel like there's this energy here for you, Leo, about not being embarrassed. You know what I mean? Putting yourself out there, and you align with that energy more than anyone else. Okay, like really putting yourself out there. And the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like that's going to bring in more opportunities, okay? Fun opportunities, opportunities you probably didn't think would come in. Okay, but I feel like you had to leave this complacency behind of feeling like you needed someone else to do it with you, or but I don't have a group, but I need this support. You know, spirit saying whatever it is, you need to use your creativity. Okay, you need to tap into your inner child. All right, because there's a way that you can do this without having it. And now Spirit is saying, like, once you do that, the right support will come. Okay, the right support will come. So just start putting yourself out there, whatever that is. Okay. Hey, UK, shout out to the UK, shout out to the Leo. So really put yourself out there. Okay. Really tap into that inner child energy. Okay. Use that creativity. And like I said, there was a message about, you know, being afraid to put yourself out there. Something about like embarrassment too. Think about how children move. You know what I'm saying? I look at my son, and I just, you know, kids are so, they just come into this earth. They are fucking super beings. Like they are very they don't care. They don't care. You know, kids are rarely, I won't say they're not embarrassed, you know, but they just do things, you know. They laugh at themselves, they fall, they get back up, you know what I mean? They cry when they want to cry, you know, they express joy when they want to express joy. So I feel like Spirit is saying, especially for you, Leos, you're so innately attuned to that energy of childlike energy, of joy, of passion, of fun. So Spirit is saying it's really time to get back to that. And that's what I feel like this new timeline is for you guys. All right, so let's pull a moon card and then we're going to move forward. You have 2 out here. I love this. You have the new moon in Taurus, all right, with know your worth. Period. Okay, like you can do it, like I was just saying. You know, these people don't add to your worth that you're thinking that you need. You know what I mean? You know, your worth truly comes from within. And then you have this one, the new moon in Aries here, okay, with go for it. Literally what we were just talking about here, okay? So, Leo, I feel like this is going to unfold, okay? So this is going to be a process of you really integrating this part of yourself, that childlike part of yourself, okay, on this new timeline, all right? So let's move to Virgo. Not me forgetting at the very start. Okay, Virgos. So I don't have to go back and look through the timestamps. All right. The moon. Okay. That's both like Cancer energy. Wow. And the 10 of Wands here. There's a lot that I'm getting here for you, Virgo. Being a, I don't want to say healer. Naturally, you guys kind of are, all right, because you rule the 6th house of health. But it feels like taking on too much energetic burden, okay? Especially with the 3 of Cups here. I'm hearing middleman, so you be like that anchor within a group, or you could have been, right? Because we're talking about this old timeline, okay? You could have been an anchor within a group, or just, I don't know, you are like the center of something here, which is so symbolic because you're the 6th zodiac sign out of 12, right? Kind of marking that turning point to the other half, right? As we go into Libra. So that's weird. A lot of you, it feels like you have taken on a lot of energetic burden from people. And now I'm seeing confirmation behind these 2 cards with the Devil and the Queen of Pentacles, okay? There's a lot that be on your shoulders, Virgo. Okay, it feels like there's a lot of people that depend on you, that count on you. There's people that always come to you for advice. There's people that always feel like they can come to you, you know, to lay down their burdens. All right. Some of you could be like this nurturing, almost like mothery figure, okay, if you will. Yeah, look at what's behind this, y'all. The 6 of Swords here and the Fool. All right. You are not being accountable for all these people anymore, for all these energies anymore. This really feels like you've been giving people their energy back, which means you've been reclaiming your own. You've been calling your energy and you've been protecting your energy. Leo's got the Fool out here too. All right, this is a new beginning. Virgo, some of you could also be like literally moving with the 6 of Swords and the Fool, like complete fresh start, new beginning, like physically moving areas or something like that, moving homes, moving towns, okay? Truly jumping into a new cycle energetically where things just feel really light and they feel right. Look at that, the High Priestess here in the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles is a Virgo card. It feels like you're in your vibe. Why? It's going to start to feel like that on this new timeline because you've been calling your energy back. And you're going to see as you do that, okay, and as you break away from some of these relationships where you could have been, it seems like you could have been overextending yourself, okay, even to the point of your own exhaustion, okay? What you're going to start to feel is that you feel a lot lighter. Okay, you're going to feel a lot lighter energetically, spiritually. You might even feel like because of that, you have more physical energy where you may have been lacking. All right. And it's because you created separation between these energies, because you've given these energies back, because you're being more authentic. You're saying, hell no, I don't want to do that. Okay. And you might not be saying hell no exactly. Okay. But you're saying no. You know what I mean? You're putting down a boundary. You're not forcing how it's showing up differently for everyone. All right. Some of you have been like some of you, I'm hearing like breadwinner. So that plays into that whole thing again too. Like you could have been the breadwinner for your family or something like that. Like there's a lot of people who depend on you. I see that. And so for some of you, you're going to be taking a break from that, whatever you did to like get money or something. Maybe some of you are having, I don't know, a sabbatical. You know, you got the 6 of Swords out here and the Fool. Some of you, dare I say, you could be like retiring from something, okay, or just taking some type of break. And I'm hearing lengthy, okay. Some of you could be taking a lengthy break, okay. Some of you are taking a break to also focus on your relationship. All right. As I say that, Boot Up just came on in the background. All right, let's get a card out here for Virgos. And you got the full moon in Aquarius, and it says be real. It says be real. Now, the crazy thing about that is we just had this whole spiel, right, before I started the all signs reading about the new moon in Leo, right? Which means this full moon in Aquarius here, right? We just had in Leo season. Okay, so for some of you, this is something that you've realized, okay, during this time. Like I said, Leo season has been very informative, okay, and informing us of who we really are, okay, not who we putting out there, okay, not the mask and the facades that we wear that keep us looking so just nice and pretty and all these things, you know. This is the real, okay. So you got the full moon in Aquarius here with be real, and that's what it feels like. Okay, you just being your authentic self, finally saying, you know what, I don't have the energy to give to these relationships anymore, or I can't be the anchor in these relationships or these spaces anymore. You know what I mean? And just that acknowledgement, all right, and the acknowledgement of the part within yourself that is or has been afraid to say that all along, you know what I mean, will completely alchemize the situation. So again, it's going to be a process, but I will say that it does feel like the timeline is moving at different speeds for different people, and I feel like that just has to do with how honest you are, honestly, how honest you are with yourself, period. All right, let's go to Virgo, Libra. I always get like those three. I'd be feeling like I'm messing up the order. Okay, 48, 29. All right, Libra. I also gotta keep an eye on the time here. All right, Libra. Timeline. Okay, thank you. The Five of Cups here. Wow, and Justice. Everybody been coming out in their own readings. Okay, so that is pretty cool. All right, Five of Cups, Justice. And the Hierophant here. Libra, we've been talking about this. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Fine. I don't know what happened. It said reconnecting. I hope that it's still going. Okay. For a lot of you, I feel like what's closing out on this past timeline is this inner critic, right? Libra, we've been talking about this. A lot of you guys, this inner critic is literally not your voice. Okay. It's literally not yourself. Okay. It can be something, like, for example, and I'm just going to give an example. It doesn't have to mean that it's your situation. You were younger. Your father had huge expectations for you. You were supposed to be a doctor, a surgeon, whatever. And this whole life, you've been like following this one path, you know, under this guise of, I'm going to be a good son, or I'm going to be a good daughter, and I'm going to fulfill this path, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make them proud, and I'm going to, you know. And it's almost like every time you maybe try to veer off of that or do what you genuinely want to do, you hear this voice. Okay. But I feel like you have been steadily, okay, because we're talking about what you're closing out. You have been steadily overcoming that, but you have been steadily challenging that voice. Like, wait a minute, who is this? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean I'm not? You know what I'm saying? That's what this feels like, because with the Five of Cups, I feel like because of the standards you were holding for yourself, standards that were not even your own, okay, you would be very hard on yourself. There was a lot of disappointment with things that you feel like you didn't achieve. I'm also hearing the word siblings, okay? So for some of you, there could have been this comparative energy of, you know, I'm not like this person, or I should have did this path, or something like that. But I feel like that's really closing out for you here. You know what I mean? This Justice and Hierophant, I feel like these were the standards, okay? Some of these standards just very, I won't say unachievable, but just, I think that some of these things had to be more traditional with the Hierophant, but it's not what you wanted. You know what I mean? And so that's a part of this Leo energy that we've been going through this portal, through Leo season. It's been about like, what is it that you want to do? It's not about the facades. You can't come into the new timeline wearing the facade. It will crumble. It will crumble. Why? You are gonna crumble it. You just don't know it. You're gonna crumble it. Your shadow's gonna crumble it. Okay? Because it's gonna get so sick of pretending. Okay, and people pleasing and shape shifting. All right, so let's see what's coming in. All right, because we already know you've been conquering the inner critic like a boss. Okay, like a boss. and we love you for that. We're happy for you for that, man, because that inner critic can be a bitch, man. You know, it's not easy. Okay. And I feel like I always feel like when spirit delivers messages like this, it always comes with an acknowledgement of how tough this path can be. Okay. But it's so much better when you go through it, right? You know that it's so much better than just living in an illusion. You know that it is. Because when you're in that illusion, you're truly sleepwalking. You ain't living yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't lived yet. Okay? So it's coming in for Libra. Oh, I love it. Oh, everything they told you was wrong. The Page of Wands and the Five of Swords. Spirit's giving me a quote. Curiosity killed the cat. But they don't tell you that. And see, this is a part of the message. Okay, listen. The whole quote is curiosity. What you hear most, let's start with that. What you tend to hear most is curiosity killed the cat. Right? So what does that say? What does that do to your spirit? Hearing that curiosity kills the cat. Well, if I want to be different, if I want to explore, now there's this fear attached to it. Now it's like, well, maybe I should just stay on the path. You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't veer off, right? But the rest of the quote is curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. And see, that's what people do. That's what this Five of Swords is representative of. Okay, people telling you half truths, people telling you things from their perspective, from their life's experience. Spirit's giving me a message to tell you those people who told you those things, okay, or who tried to, veer you off or away from your path, those people, Spirit's asking you, look at their life, okay? Look at their life. This is not to rag on them. This is not to bring judgment about on any of them. We're not coming from that space. Look at their life though, and simply ask yourself, do you want your life to mimic that? Is that what you want? If so, maybe their advice is for you. Maybe you should. If not, there's your answer. If that's not what you want, you're not listening to the right person. Okay, so I love that. I really look at that. The Chariot. Come on, man. Look at that. Let me pull a card. Let me pull your last card. Let me deck. I love that. Oh, there's a call coming through. Hold on, let me get that out of here. All right, Libra. You got the new moon in Cancer with relax. Okay, and crazy that the last card I pulled for you was a Cancerian card, the Chariot. Relax, okay? You're in this new cycle, okay? You've been conquering the inner critic, and I feel like Spirit's saying relax because some of you are afraid of that voice coming back and taking over. You have new wisdom, okay? That's what this portal and this new moon in Leo and practically the whole Leo season, honestly, that's what it feels like it's been about. Okay, integrating all of the new knowledge and wisdom that you've learned. You ain't been doing all this shadow work and shit for no reason. Okay, relax. All right, you're at a new phase. All right, and this is your phase of exploration. Okay, exploring and going into all of those places, okay, that they told you that the curious cat got killed when really he didn't. Okay, he comes back and he has knowledge and he has information and he has innovations. Okay, so don't be afraid. Don't let whatever was on that past timeline that you've closed out, don't let it scare you. Relax. Okay, you good. All right, and we're loving that for you. Okay, let's move to Scorpio. Let me get a time. 50. I gotta like put the time ahead. All right, so we'll say that. All right, Scorps. Let's tap in. Oh, okay. Thank you, Spirit. Because I just got a vision of somebody like ballroom dancing. Scorpio, if you're, especially if you're a Scorpio rising, you need to be being active. Okay, especially with the nodes shifting. You know, they already shifted into Aries and Libra. It's in your 6th house, right? Most of you. If we're using, okay, when I'm speaking on a collective scale, I will use the whole house system, right? Because it's just clean cut. I can talk to all the Scorpio risings. But if you're looking at your personal chart, your houses might be a little split. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as clean cut as that. And that's what I do on a personal level, on a one-on-one reading. But using whole house, okay, that means that the North Node is in your 6th house of health. Okay, so not only is it going to be beneficial for your body, of course, your mental and things like that, but this is you're now, a lot of you are now at the physical part of your spiritual journey. That sounds weird, right? The physical part of your spiritual journey, because there has to be both. Okay, a lot of times, I think on the spiritual journey, and I think I talked about this in a video back, we do all this spiritual work, shadow work, you know, and so we get really high up in the ethers, but we got to remember that we're living a human experience this time around. We're on the 3D plane, so we still have to plant ourselves, we still have to ground ourselves into this physical reality, because if not, that's how they try to throw you in what you call it, the mental facility and all that kind of stuff. That's when you're not grounded with the information. Okay, that's when you're not grounded with the downloads that you've been receiving. Okay, and you can't integrate it into the physical world. All right, so Scorpios, it's very important for you guys to be active. I saw someone dancing because it doesn't have to be this same, you know, go to the gym, go for a run, join a dance class. You know what I'm saying? Do Pilates, go do yoga in a park with some of your friends. You know what I mean? Get creative with it. But Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising is very imperative that you guys keep active at this time. Okay, it's also going to help with aggression. Okay, frustration. When you're feeling you need a release, Scorpio, I'm telling you, get a workout in. Okay, some type of activity. Some type of activity. Okay. What's Scorpio leaving past timeline? The Hangman here. Okay, and the 10 of Wands. I feel like Scorpio, a lot of you were holding on to things that were literally at their wits' end. Okay, with the 10 of Wands, you were literally at your wits' end. Okay, this could have played out in relationships, you know, of course, mainly relationships. Okay, jobs, situations, spaces, again, where you just are not fitting anymore. Okay, but I do feel like it took a long time. With the Hangman here, there was just, I feel like, a lot of personal confirmation that a lot of you needed for yourselves. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just need that, or sometimes our spirit feels like it needs that, or sometimes our ego feels like it needs that, right? We talked about that. We don't need closure. You know what I mean? But I feel this energy. Like I know where you were. I know where you were. You know what I mean? It was just like, I feel like it was this energy of like, am I making the right decision? You know, should I really? Like, oh my God, you know? So that lends me to believe a lot of you could have, a lot of family relationships could have changed for you too, with that type of hesitancy to cut things off. Okay. Yeah. And you have the moon here. Okay. Some of you it could be connected to the mother, but I want to go further and say that it could be connected to the feminine. Okay, so a lot of you have really let go of some type of, ooh, they're giving me the word snarky. Okay, feminine relationships or connections or dealings. Okay, and they're giving me in a way where some of you could have been sensing something, okay, in these connections, in these situations, but steadily doubting your intuition here. Okay, because Pisces is connected to the high priestess, which is that higher self, that intuition. All right, but steadily doubting yourself. Yeah, Knight of, okay. I think it's back on. I can't wait to watch this back and see like what does that mean when it says reconnecting. It's all new to me. But we're on a new timeline. You know, we got to go through this. Okay. So, all right. So the Tower and the Knight of Swords here. Yeah, there definitely could have been this fear of being the bad guy or being perceived as the bitch or whatever this is. But I feel like you alchemized it. Look at that. The Queen of Cups and the Chariot. Okay. Something about these past situations, you were able to either see yourself in it or see where you were diminishing yourself, okay, by holding on to it, and these people still just piling on you or whatever, not having the compassion that, let's say, I don't want to say you were trying to have, but it goes back to that whole, well, I'm a good person because I continuously, let them do this, but I'm giving them chances. I'm a good person. Spirit was saying, yeah, we tired. No, your shadow was saying, we tired of being a good person. Okay. When are you going to put some boundaries down with these people? Okay. Good person or not, and so a lot of this too collectively has been about to stop identifying with these labels of good person, bad person. I'm good. I'm bad. I because I'm on the spiritual journey. You know what I mean? It's just stop, because it really inhibits you. Okay. I feel like, especially for those of us on the spiritual journey, to the point where we feel like we can't tap into that shadow, we can't tap into that dark side and lay down a law for real. That's just unrealistic. What's coming in for Scorpio? Okay. Bruh. Everybody's been getting it. Everybody been getting their own sign. Look, you got the Death card, but look, the Eight of Swords. What did I say? Okay, the complacency, all right? I hope you guys can see that. I'm a little bit closer, so hopefully it's clear. The complacency, okay, is done, is dead, okay? So I feel like for those of you there, those relationships, those things, those spaces you were still trying to, they were just hanging on by a little thread, okay, just a little thread. Knight of Wands. Some of y'all, oh my God, I feel like this is what I experienced, what I was talking about in the beginning of the live. This is what I experienced. Some of y'all, abruptly, like Seven of Swords behind that too. Okay, some of y'all had it up to here, and I see like it happened abruptly. Okay, where you could have snapped. All right. And you could have abruptly cut it off. You could have abruptly said, fuck this. Like, you know what? I'm out. You feel me? And Spirit is also saying, don't get stuck on that. And that message was then for you in the beginning too. You're not regressing. Don't get stuck on that. Okay. It wasn't a thing about you regressing and oh, somehow you're a bad person because you blew up. What happened was that part of yourself that you have been pushing down, it had been trying to come up for a long time. Okay. It had been trying to say no for a long time. It was trying to lay down a boundary for a really long time. Okay. But that side of us that feels like we have to perform or shapeshift or people please, it kept going against the grain. Okay. It kept saying yes when it didn't want to. It kept putting itself in spaces. It kept going around just because it was family, until your shadow was like, you know what? I've had enough. It's time. And so all Spirit was just trying to get you to do is recognize, hey, this lives within you. When you don't acknowledge it, this is what happens. All right. So let's let it be a part of us moving forward. So we don't end up with situations and people like this, and we don't blow our top like that. Okay. We can use it in a more integrated and productive way. What's the last card for Scorpio? And like I said, again, being active is going to really help you Scorpios with aggression. Okay. And just getting pent up energies out, period. Okay. Especially if you're a Scorpio rising. Okay. Wow. Look at what I said here too. So you have the first quarter moon in Leo with be humble. Let's talk about that real quick though. And it's crazy that it's in Leo. All right. It says be humble again. All right. I feel like I'm getting this message in a sense where Scorpio, you could have been mistaking being humble, okay, for continuously diminishing yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like we use these words under the guise of like, oh, I'm such a great person, like, and this is not to rag on, like, this is what happened for me personally. Okay. It's like, I was shown that humble, you know? So watch those words, watch those labels, okay? And then look at this. You have the full moon in Aries here with cool your emotions, okay? And we haven't had this yet, not this year, because we're going to have the full moon in Aries in Libra season, which we're coming up on after Virgo season. So that again could come up for some of us. Okay. Mercury's also going to go retrograde in like a week or so. Less than that. Less than that. All right. So just keep that in mind, Scorpio. Okay. And make sure that you guys are getting some type of activity in. All right. Preferably one that you enjoy. Okay. Let's go ahead and move to Sag. There's music playing in the background. And let's do 16. Okay. Sagittarius. Why am I hearing that? I'm hearing like a kid song that I play. I used to play for some of my younger students. Like, wake up, wake up, wake your toes. Why am I hearing that? Wake up, wake up. Okay, that could be about grounding yourself, Sagittarius. Ten of Wands in reverse. That's your card, right? Ten of Wands is Sagittarius energy. In reverse here in the Page of Cups. This has been really, really heavy for you. But I love that the Ten of Wands is in reverse because you've been releasing a lot of this heaviness. And listen, as cliche as it sounds, and as much as we talk about it, a lot of our shit be stemming from the inner child. And that's what's here, the Page of Cups. You've done a lot of releasing. A lot of releasing. Yeah, wow. And the Lovers here as well. Oh, guys, when my alarms is going off. Oh, good. They gave me a time check too, 10:45. Okay. Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles here as well. And the Two of Cups and the Four of Wands. I don't know why I feel like some of you, Sagittarius, some of you, there was a very, very tough karmic relationship. Okay, that you really had a tough time releasing. Why? Okay, I feel like Spirit's giving it to me with the Page of Cups and the Lovers, that something about this person, okay, really tapped into an inner child wound. Okay, which lends me to believe there could have been some intense and serious trauma bonding between you and whoever this individual is. Could be a Gemini, could also be another Sagittarius for some of you, which, whew, okay, I know those vibes. There was definitely an intense release here. Okay, and this has built up. Okay, yeah, the Moon and the Eight of Swords here, the Hermit card. Yeah. And the King of Swords. And I also know this to be true for Sagittarius too. You were not allowed to go outside of yourself to get any of these answers or to make a decision about truly leaving whatever this was behind. You truly had to go within and be your own authority with the King of Swords here and the Hermit, especially with the Seven of Cups and Ace of Cups too. Some of you, you would make a decision about this and then you would backtrack on it because you would be confused with the Seven of Cups. Did I do the right thing? Oh my God, am I being mean? Am I, doing what they did to me? All of this back and forth, complacency, not fully stepping into your power. All right? Oh, but wait. Okay, because now you got the Ace of Swords here and the Eight of Cups. You're very clear now, okay, on why you need to leave this behind. You're very, very clear. Okay? Some of you have identified where that wound was, why the trauma bond even happened to begin with. You're very clear on why you walked away. And because of that clarity, okay, because you went within, okay, because that's really how we get it. You went within, okay, and you looked at those emotions, you looked at those difficult parts. Some of you, there was a mirror shown to you, okay, of why this person was even attracted into your life. Because you did that, you walk away for good. Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups. You know now, like there's no confusion about it. Okay, especially if some of you were dealing with, because I'm hearing master manipulator. Some of you are dealing with a master manipulator, which means, or which lends me to believe, for some of you, this person mirrored someone already in your life, okay, or that you had an experience with before. Okay? I'm hearing you beat the game. You beat the game. Okay? What's on this new timeline for Sagittarius? Okay. The Queen of Wands. Oh my God, I love to see it. I'm so happy for y'all. The Queen of Wands and the Two of Wands here. You are much more confident about your path, about the direction of your life. Even if, okay, because let me catch y'all, let me get y'all together, because I'm hearing somebody say, but I don't even know where I'm going. That's the whole point, okay? Because in the past cycle, whatever you were wrapped up in, whoever that lovers represented, whether that be an actual lover of yours, or, you know, just a situation, a space you were in, it was a lesson in there. That's why Spirit wouldn't let you go outside of yourself to get advice, to get any of that from anyone else other than your higher self, because it was time to rebuild that. I think that might just be YouTube. I don't know, because my Wi-Fi is good, y'all. I don't know what it's doing when it's saying reconnecting, so I don't know if you guys see me buffering when that happens or what. I'm not sure. Um, I'll just have to watch it back after this trial and error, you know. But we in here and we're keeping it moving. But yeah, you guys are so much more confident, even if you don't necessarily know where you're going. Okay. It feels good to be out of confusion, let alone the confusion of someone else's energy. Okay. And you got the Ten of Pentacles out here as well. Yeah. I think you guys feel a lot more confident that you're going to reach your goals too, now that you are separate from whatever, again, whatever that energy was that you had been dealing with. Okay, yeah, the full moon in Capricorn here. You guys got to take a reality check. Some of you, ooh, I'm hearing Spirit say that some of you, and when I was in therapy a long time ago, really doesn't matter how long ago it was, but when I was in therapy, I remember my therapist saying, you're being afraid of certain things happening, right? But, and she was like, but you're living it, that very thing right now. The thing you're afraid of happening, excuse me, tongue twister, you're living right now. So just do the opposite, you know, just go the opposite way. Do the opposite. Just do it. That's what this feels like. That's what it feels like the reality check was. Okay. And just using that lovers that we pulled as an example, you know, you realize I've been fearful of this path or taking this unknown path or whatever it is, but because of all these fears that I have, but I'm literally living in those fears right now. I'm literally experiencing everything I'm saying I'm scared of as far as embarking on this new journey, but I'm sitting in everything I said I'm scared of is all around me right now. Okay, so I feel like that was the big jolt for you guys. And this new path for some of you, it might seem a little scary only because it's unknown. All right, you don't know what's about to unfold, but that's why you hold on to the feeling. Okay, Sagittarius. And I feel like just for you to be away from whatever that energy was, it's going to give you a lot of clarity. All right. So, oh, and we just pulled a Capricorn card. Let's move to Capricorn. We're at 1. We'll say 1 16. Just to be safe. Wake up, wiggle your toes. Yes, that's why I was hearing that Sagittarius. I'm like, why am I hearing this kitty song? And the card I pulled, if you guys missed the beginning of the live, was the Awakener. It was like, yeah, wait a minute, we're just moseying about. Okay, and for some of you, it was like that person or whatever the situation was, they were having just way too much authority over things. Okay, or we were putting way too much weight on their opinions or something like that. All right, Kathy. The Wands and the Black Newman, leaving a lot of 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Knight of Cups. Judgment has been a big energy for you guys too. Oh my God. That's crazy that came out in perfectly reverse. Because Capricorn, this is something that you've been working through. I've been reading for For the Capricorns that I've been reading for, the energy that's been coming up, this is almost, I feel like Libra kind of had a similar message, so maybe y'all have some kind of placements in that. Traditions, values, life paths that do not align with what you want, okay? Or what you want anymore. But for some of you, they never aligned with what you want, okay? Or with what you wanted, excuse me, okay? And it was so heavy. Like some of you, I get the impression that there was a lot of like family involved in this, okay? So, you know, trying to please family or trying to make family proud, okay? But with the Hierophant in reverse, this is, you're shaking it up, okay? You're shaking it up. Any, I heard anything goes. Yeah, the King of Wands here and the Hangman. You guys have been thinking about making this transition or this jump for a very long time. You've been having this vision for yourself for a very long time. And for a lot of you, simply put, it's just about veering off of the traditional path. Quite literally, for a lot of you, it's about this unconventional exploration, okay, that you're genuinely interested in. There are some things, okay, or some life paths, okay, with this Hierophant energy that you're just not invested in anymore. You're not, whether it's a traditional job, whether it's a traditional kind of relate, there are just some values that are not aligning with you anymore. Okay. Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups here. Some of you, there's this breaking down of a facade of like who you're supposed to be with. Okay. Whether that be from like people outside of you, right? Like your family not liking your spouse, or I don't know, something like that. It's about going for what you really want for yourself. Yeah, the Nine of Wands and the Chariot, even if you got to do that shit alone right now. All right, because for some of you that was the issue, is that you were afraid that you were going to be isolated, you were going to be outcasted, okay? Or what is that word? Like that they use in families. It's like in you know, especially in like religious families where I can't even think of it. Brain fart. It'll come to me though. Probably in a different sign, but just afraid to be the outcast, afraid to be different, okay? But it really feels like on this new timeline, it's going to be about embracing all of that. So I put a post up a couple days ago where it was like, what this portal and this new moon has asked of us is all the work that we've been doing. Are you truly ready to integrate it? Because the new timeline's here. We've been doing all this work almost like we were downloading it, and it was could have been a slow download. You know what I'm saying? Because what I read at the beginning of this live again was from July 28, 2022, when we start talking about those energies. So it's been a slow download, but it's here now. Okay, it's on the hard drive, it's downloaded. Okay, and so what this period of time felt like it was asking us was, okay, you did all the work, you ready to jump? You ready? You ready for the shift? Are you jumping? You jumping, or you turning back now? What you doing? Okay, so what can Capricorn expect from you? Tell me my spirit. Okay, Three of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, some of these relationships are definitely going to be severed. Okay, some of these relationships are going to be severed with the Three of Swords, and Spirit is saying that's not, Spirit's saying, you know, it's not to say that won't hurt, right? We live in a 3D world where we are here being humans, right? So we feel the feels, we have emotions. But with the Four of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, Spirit's just asking you to look at the bigger picture and how what's coming in, okay, the changes that are coming in, how they are a reflection of what you absolutely visualized, what you absolutely called into your life. Okay, so this is just the cleaning house. This is it. This is just the cleaning of the house. All right, so let the house get clean. Okay, don't resist the cleaning of the house. Let the housekeepers come in and clean up the house. Okay. Let's get your moon card. You have the last quarter moon in Scorpio here. It says reveal. what needs to be seen. I heard transformation. Some of you, there is something like a coming out. And I feel like I had that for Capricorn, where you're revealing a new version of yourself, maybe even like a whole new look altogether, okay, of yourself. So I don't know, some of you, this could take place in Scorpio season where you truly feel super comfortable about this reveal. But whatever it is definitely carrying you further into this timeline. Okay, so all the best with that, Capricorn. Let's go ahead and move to Aquarius. We started with Leo, just so you guys know if you're like coming in and out. We started with Leo. All right. Aquarius. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 7. All right, Aquarius. Let us tap in for you guys. Aquarius, this you guys have also, because we're in Leo season, it kind of automatically activates the opposite sign, which is you, Aquarius. And you guys, we have also been talking, look at that, Judgment in the World, about embodying that Leo energy, okay, of being authentically yourself, putting yourself out there, okay. Okay, because Aquarius has connections to Uranus as well, okay? And I find that a lot of my Aquariuses are they're different, you know? And their uniqueness, though, is their superpower, okay? Your uniqueness is your superpower. And I think that's what this has been about for a lot of you, is really integrating that, really being okay with that. All right, what are they leaving on the old timelines? All right. 4 of Wands in reverse. Well, damn. And the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. This has been a long time coming. Okay. Some of you moved. Some of you let it go. You let it go. Some of you were trying to hold on to like a home or something like that. You let it go. You let it go. And you worked really, really hard too. Okay. With the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Spirit said for some of you, it was coming from a place of you holding on to whatever that was, okay? For some of you, I'm definitely getting a physical place you lived, a home. Spirit saying you holding on to that was representative of you. Like, it was like trying to hold on to a last piece of something, or, you know, a last piece of a timeline. For some of you, this is family, okay? Or people closest to you, all right? With the 4 of Wands there. That's in reverse. Okay, our foundations. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. For a lot of you, it was stemming from like survival mode or feeling like you needed these things here. And I know that can be tough, right? Especially with the 4 of Wands, if we're talking about a physical home, right? We need shelter, right? But I think this goes deeper for you, Aquarius. Yeah. 5 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. It was about, I feel like for a lot of you, it was about not feeling like a failure. Okay, and if this is about family too, then feeling like you didn't let people down or something like that. Okay. Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune here and the 8 of Cups. But the time just came to like let it go or walk away. The time just came to let it go or walk away. Okay, 8 of Pentacles and Death card for some of you. It could have been a job as well. Okay. Okay, you have the 3 of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands. Cut the deck and you have the Sun card. Wow. With the 3 of Wands in reverse, I don't know why this feels like you stop looking for something. You stop searching for something. Even you can see on this card in this deck, right? Like she's looking. You know what I mean? And the 3 of Wands, even in the 3 of Wands and other decks, it's like overlooking something. It's seeing how something plays out. It's sending out ships, you know, and just seeing how things go. With the Sun and the Ace of Wands here, I feel like you're building a stronger foundation within Aquarius. Okay. And it's crazy as hell that the Leo card is out here when we have been stressing how important it is for you, Aquarius, to tap into your Leo energy. Okay, you especially, right? Second to Leo, but you especially. Okay, tapping into that Leo energy here. The Two of Swords and the Hermit here as well. You are another one where this is truly about you making your own decisions, not having the influence, okay, all the time of family or those closest to you, okay, but really having that courage and bravery and faith within yourself, okay, about this new timeline. Yes, the moon card here for Aquarius. Also about not seeking outside validation, okay? You rule the 11th house of the group, the collective. Okay, so I'm also getting that as well. Some of you were holding on to something, especially if it was a house, maybe for like some of you, okay, for just the attention that it brings from the outside, right? Oh, love your home. Oh my God, this is such a good home. You know, just those things. Again, that lends itself to what we talked about at the beginning about the facades breaking down and the authenticity that Leo season brings. All right, so your card. You got the new moon in Scorpio here, okay? And it says go deeper. All right? It says go deeper. I'm hearing spirit say for some of you, you didn't even realize, okay? You didn't even realize. All right? And I feel like with this go deeper here, you might start to see different ways. And listen, like I said at the beginning, these videos are not going to be for the unaccountable, you know? So you might start to see where you were looking for outside validation, even if you're out of that space. You know what I mean? Hindsight's 2020, so you might be able to see that here. And I feel like for you guys, Scorpio season might be a time of like psychic revelations, honestly. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to Pisces. And then we have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. All right, because we started with Leo. All right, let's do one. Ooh, some of you, because I'm hearing ain't too proud to bag in the background. Some of you Aquarius, before we move to Pisces, I'm sorry, let me change the time. You got tired of like asking specifically about this house message, maybe got tired of like asking for help for people to like help you keep it, you know what I mean? And you're just like, I gotta do all this shit just to keep this thing, like just fuck it, just take it, you know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna move right now, you know? So I don't know. Again, that's a big realization, and that's a big mask coming off too, so kudos. 130. Okay, now we're on Pisces. Alrighty. Okay, the 9 of Wands here. The 8 of Wands already here, Spirit. Like, slow down. Okay. All right, you got the 9 of Wands. The 7 of Swords here. And the 8 of Wands. Yeah, Pisces, I don't know. It just feels like, especially with that 8 of Wands, it's like you're just going. You were just going. We're talking about the old timeline here, okay? Then we'll talk about the new timeline with the second pull. It's like you were just going. Okay, but with the 7 of Swords here, I feel this is lack of direction, lack of purpose. All right, so a lot of you could have felt like, especially if you felt like you were in like a dead end job or something like that, it's like you're going because the 8 of Wands is fast as hell. Okay, the 8 of Wands is momentum, it's speed, it's movement. But is where you're going or where you were going, we're talking about an old timeline that we just closed out, but where you were going, was it where you actually wanted to go? You know, where you just pushing through with the 9 of Wands because people told you, well, just work hard, just do it. It's what you got to do. You just got to do it. Just work hard. Just go, yeah. You know, it was like you were living a life. Some of you could have been living a life that you felt like was not your own. Yeah. The Tower and the Seven of Pentacles here, because it feels like a lot of you have been doing a lot of really deep thinking. Okay. Seven of Pentacles is about that reaching success, but, you know, tweaking. It's about reevaluation, reassessing. All right, what needs to be done to get to the 10 of Pentacles, right? So that's the Seven of Pentacles. Now with the Tower here, some of you, this is like whole, I'm hearing like, what? Jump start? I don't know. Okay. This is like a whole, this Seven of Pentacles, this reevaluating your life's direction could have completely caused what seemed like a tower moment. That's why I said at the beginning of this reading, that's why Spirit told me to stress that at the very beginning, that you are not regressing, okay? When it seemed chaotic or something like that. So for some of you, this could have happened around this new moon that we just had. We just came out of it, what, like yesterday? Like the moon just went into Virgo. So a lot of you, it's like this reevaluation jolted you out of a snooze, a daze. Okay, especially with our collective card pool being the awakener. It jolted you out of it, you know, completely, like you snapped out of it. What am I doing? Where am I going? You know? All right, let's see. What's on the new timeline for the Pisces Spirit? Come on. The Six of Wands here. All right. The Queen of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. You absolutely mean business. A lot of you, this is directly connected to career, work, something like that, business, because you guys have definitely been getting that message. The Queen of Swords here, the Eight of Pentacles. You mean business here. The Six of Wands as well. I feel like you're not you're not a supporting actor or actress anymore. You've now jumped into the main character role. Okay, you've now jumped into the main character role. There's going to be a lot more eyes on you. Okay, some of you may even be in a new position or something like that, something that's like higher up as well, because the Six of Wands, people are looking up at him on the horse, right? They are admiring him. Yeah, this timeline just put you in the driver's seat. Whereas with this Nine of Wands here, it just felt like you were a supporting actor in your own screenplay. You know, with the Eight of Wands and Seven of Swords, yes, you're going fast, you're moving, you're not standing in the same place. But with the Seven of Swords there, is it the movement that you want? Is it in the direction that you wanted to go all along? So that's what it feels like. When we're the main character, we're going to make sure it's the direction that we want to go in. Okay, Queen of Swords, because if it's not, it's getting cut out. Period. If it's not working, it's getting cut out. Okay, not to mention the faith that you've been building for yourself as well. The Magician and the Ten of Pentacles here. Your faith is getting stronger on this timeline. And with the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, you're learning to look at things from different perspectives. Okay, so whereas on a past timeline, especially with the Nine of Wands coming out, it just felt like you were tired, exhausted. And so certain disappointments could have really hit harder than they would where you are now energetically. You're able to handle it better. You're able to frame it in a different way. You're able to say, you know what? Nah, this broke down because this is trying to come in. This Ace of Pentacles, you know, and that also helps you to keep your momentum with the Eight of Wands and not keep you stuck and stagnant in disappointment, in the disappointment of the Five of Cups. All right, so I feel like there's a lot that's been changing for you to Pisces. And I always say, especially for Pisces, you guys are naturally connected to the 12th house of spirituality, dreams, Neptune. You know, so your faith is really important. Jupiter as well. You're connected to Jupiter as well, so your faith is really important. And a lot of what you focus on expands. Okay? All right? Whoop. So you have the new moon in Gemini here. Okay, and it says think it through, and that's exactly what it feels like was going on with that Seven of Pentacles. It was like an aha moment, like what have I been, where have I been going? You know, I've been going, but damn, some of you felt like, you feel like, damn, I've been doing all this work, I've been going, but I ain't been nowhere. You know, I'm still not getting anywhere. It's like being on the treadmill, you know, or being on one of those exercise bikes. It's like, yeah, putting in all this work, you know, but it's like, damn, the bike is still, it's still here. You know, like it didn't, you know, so that's really good. I feel like you guys can expect to see a lot of movement. Not, well, you were seeing movement, but um yes. uh, where did you say period? Why is it going away? I thought the chat stays up here. Sorry guys, this is the first live on period to being more authentic now. Yes, exactly. But yeah, Pisces, you were having movement, but I think that now it has direction. All right, you know what I'm saying? You know where you're going. um Hey girl, it is there's a collective message at the beginning and then all signs. I just finished Pisces. I'm going to timestamp everything at the end. I'm writing down the timestamp so I can do it as soon as it's over. Okay. We started with Leo too, by the way. Because it's Leo season. All right, we're about to move to Aries now. Okay, so Aries one, we'll say, listen, y'all. All right, listen, I'm gonna try to get these timestamps good for y'all, but I don't know. All right, Aries, let's tap in. The card pull at the beginning was the Awakener. Okay, and I'm gonna read it at the end too, just for, you know, those of you who don't want to rewind it back right now, you know, because it was on point. It's on point for literally everything that we talked about and that we've been talking about here. All right, Aries, let's tap in. Once again, guys, we're going to end with Cancer today because we started with Leo. So we're on Aries right now, okay? All right. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, and the Seven of Pentacles. Aries, I heard that everything that glitters is not gold, okay? Everything that glitters is not gold. You got the Ace of Pentacles out here, all right? And you also have the Seven of Pentacles. And you have the Two of Cups. There's two messages, I feel. All right. For the everything that glitters is not gold, some of you, you might find yourself slowing down, taking opportunities. This doesn't mean there's going to be a shortage of opportunities or anything, but some of you could have just been taking on things, you know, just, okay, yeah, this one, okay, yes, this, yeah, I'm gonna take that on. This, yeah, I'm gonna take that on. But then what does that do? That depletes your energy, right? That, again, if you go back to the beginning of these collective messages, at some point you're going to get tired. Some point in there, realistically, you know what I'm saying? Your shadow is going to be like, bro, when we going to get a break? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you going to, you know, tend to yourself, right? So I feel like for some of you, this new timeline, it might seem like Spirit's already saying it might seem like things are slowing down, but the opportunities that do come in will make up for all of the ones that you'll turn down for your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, which is just as important. All right. Some of you, this is about compromising your goals, okay, for a lover, okay, or a partner of some sort with the Two of Cups here. Yes, Four of Wands and Four of Pentacles here. Okay, so again, that speaks to that energy too of people pleasing or shape shifting or, you know, putting yourself aside, okay, under the guise of, oh, but I'm helping them. Oh, but I'm just a good person because I put my dreams to the side. I keep doing it and helping them. You know, I don't want y'all to get it confused with you can't help. You can't be a quote unquote good person, right? Because good, bad, right? But when it starts to eat at your spirit, when it starts to deplete your energy, okay, you can, and spirit's been showing you how, okay, you can no longer do it under the guise of saying, I'm a good person. I'm just, spirit's going to reward me for it. I'm gonna have some good karma for it. You can't do it under the guise of that anymore. Because when you know better, you are responsible for doing better. And the thing is, okay, and I got caught up in this before. The thing is, you can't, when you start pointing outside of yourself, okay, the person you're dealing with, they might not have that spiritual knowledge or wisdom that you do. Okay, they are not accountable for you. All right. You're accountable for learning your own lessons. So while you're trying to make this person learn a lesson that you think they're supposed to be learning, you're taking the focus off of yourself. Okay. Their healing, their karma, what's gonna happen to them is really none of your business. You know? Um, it's really all about you and if you're getting your lesson because spirit knows if you're being willfully ignorant, right? That's that whole thing about once you know better, you are responsible for doing better. It doesn't matter what the other person is doing. That doesn't mean that you lower yourself, deplete your energy under the guise of being a good person. No, that means you lay down a boundary. You say no. Okay? You say you have no access to me anymore. You know? All right, so let's see what's coming on the new timeline for Aries. All right, you have the moon, the Queen of Swords here. Ooh. And you also have the Page of Wands. I don't know why I feel like a childlike spirit too. Okay, a childlike energy. I don't know if some of you have children or something like that, Aries. All right, there might be certain boundaries that you are enforcing there too, honestly. Which can be tough, I know. Knight of Pentacles here and the King of Wands. And the King of Cups in reverse with the Eight of Cups. I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay, so on this new timeline as well for you, Aries, your emotions, okay, are going to be a really, really big point of focus. There could also be a masculine water sign, okay? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, especially with the Eight of Cups being out here, plus the Moon, plus the King of Cups in reverse, and then the Knight of Cups, okay? Either there is avoidance, okay, with this person and emotionally, okay, that's going to be brought. I saw that the Ten of Swords was about to come out. So that makes me feel like, okay. All right. The Ten of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups here. Those of you who have been scared of love, okay. You've been scared of truly building with someone, Ten of Cups, truly bringing it together, okay. And you've been using work as a distraction. Okay. Or using busyness as a distraction. You're about to be challenged in love. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Cups here. Okay. I feel like some of you could have been under this guise of like, well, you know, I've been so busy. I don't have time, you know, but Spirit's about to show you how that's been a cloak. Okay. How that, well, they're saying excuse. Okay. But I don't think they mean it in a harsh way. How that has been a way of avoidance. Okay. Because look what's sitting behind that. You got the Devil here and the Three of Swords. All right. So again, you're not regressing. All right. But Spirit, I feel like it's going to either show you, okay, you specifically, Aries, or somebody that you're connected to, okay, in love, because this is about your heart. This is about emotions. It's going to show you where you do actually want to come together. Okay. It's going to show you what you really want. Now, for everybody, it's going to be different. Coming together means something different for everyone. Maybe for some, it means white picket fence with multiple kids running around. Maybe for some, it means, you know, I don't know, just finding somebody to support you. Maybe for some, it means a spiritual marriage, whatever that is. It feels like Spirit's gonna really make you be honest about it. Either you or somebody that you're connected to, okay? Or that could be coming in if you're not connected to anybody in that type of sense. Okay. And I also feel like Spirit's telling me to say, like, for singles, it the thought process is going to come up. Okay. The emotions are going to come up of how you do want closeness. You do want to form a beautiful bond with someone. Okay. And Spirit saying it's not what you think. I don't know why I'm here. Spirit saying it's not what you think. Okay. Because some of you have a preconceived notion about what that is. Okay. Some of you are like, marriage? Hell no. Okay. And the pressure just came on with Janae Echo. So yeah, some of you just feel like if you bring those titles or those things into connections, that it just changes everything for the worse. So I feel like Spirit's going to really open your eyes to new possibilities when it comes to love, when it comes to coming together with someone. Okay. That's why Spirit's saying it's not what you think. You know, it's not what you think. All right. Aries, what is your card? Okay. You have two. So you have the new moon in Cancer with relax. Yes. Okay. Because love is coming. So you might as well just open up your big old heart. And then you have the first moon in Cancer with push through any insecurity. All right. And that's literally where it feels like this stems from. Okay. Just some type of insecurity, or just, again, a preconceived notion that you have about what it means to be in love, to come together, to have a partner, to have a family, to build with someone long term. All right. So be looking forward to it. I really do feel like it's going to be a beautiful energy. Although some of the energies might be tough to work through, understand it's also rewarding, for real. All right. We're not living in illusions. Okay. That's what I have for you, Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. And we are at, damn, it's almost been 2 hours. These lives go fast. Okay. Let's get the time out at 1:49. We'll say 30. All right. Bear with me with the timestamps, guys. I'm trying to get them as closely as possible, but yeah, no. Okay, Taurus. Let us vibe. Let me get a sip of water, please. Oh, thank you, God, for water. Oh, man. Okay. I'm sorry, sleeping on that. Oh, come on, Spirit. The Knight of Wands here. Oh, wow. When I tell you everybody's been getting their own sign, the Hierophant out here. Taurus, you are another one that is breaking free, honey. And I'm loving that for you. I am loving that for you. Okay. You are not letting people. Okay. So what you're leaving on the old timeline is feeling guilt or shame, okay, for wanting to explore, or you know what I mean, for wanting to be more expressive, even in how you present yourself physically, visually to the world. All right. And you're connected to Venus, okay, Oshun energy. um some of you are getting more comfortable, okay, in your physical body, okay, dressing yourself up, just feeling good, okay. Some of you are coming out of that box. Yes, the Ten of Swords, okay, healing little Taurus, healing younger Taurus. Okay, you're really breaking outside the box. Because if I could give a nickname to the Hierophant, I would say that it's more so about being in the box. Structure, traditions, values, things that have always been the way they've always been, you know, and that has its place in society. It does. Um, but I feel like you are one of the ones, it's time for you to explore a little bit more. You're actually coming out of that. Feels like, okay. Um, okay. The Hermit card. The Ace of Cups here. And the Eight of Swords. So there's a lot of, first of all, some of you might feel more isolated. Okay, not lonely, not lonely. You might feel more isolated on this new timeline. Okay, the Hermit card out here. And I feel like spirit might be creating separation between you and certain people or certain groups, okay? Only so you get more in touch with who you truly are, okay? Because I'm hearing impression, 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 impressed upon, okay? Ah, yes, that makes sense because the Hierophant, we just talked about it being about being in the box, traditional values, things like that. Spirit is helping you go within so that you redefine what those are for yourself. Okay, and I don't know, some of you could have been in a group or something. Spirit might, you might be pulled away from there. You might not be able to spend as much time with the same people as before. Okay, Queen of Cups here. Also, a lot of you are having more compassion for yourself. If you feel like you have been around energies that have been very judgmental of you, those are the energies you're going to be separated from. Those are the energies you're going to be separated from. Only, okay, because Spirit's going to show you how you cast the same judgment upon yourself, you know, in some way, shape, or form. Okay, your shadow or whatever it might be. Okay. I'm going to pull one more for y'all. The Nine of Swords and the Two of Swords here. The Ace of Cups again as well. So I feel like also, Taurus, you're another one. Yeah, this is about, yeah, being impressed upon. And I feel like Spirit might put you in a position where there's a decision that you have to make. That could be a little worrisome, but I feel like the only thing that's worrisome about it is that you have to make it, you know, is that you have to make the decision, right? Or you have to make it alone. That's the only worrisome part about it. I don't think it's the decision itself. I think it's the act of doing it. And I feel like Spirit's going to put you in more positions to do that, to make what seems like tough decisions, but it's just to get you over this illusionary hump of something, an illusionary obstacle that you feel. Okay, and I feel like it has to do with like traditions that you hold yourself to, a box that you keep yourself in. Swords and the Four of Pentacles here, Spirit. What is Taurus's moon card today? Ooh, I heard that. I heard let me clear my throat, okay? Some of you are going to be using that throat chakra a lot more. Yeah, some of you are stressed out about having to say something, just having to do it, the act of just doing it. But Spirit, they got your back, okay, Taurus? You got this. Yeah, you got this. That's why you're going to be isolated, not lonely, not lonely. You might be isolated so that you get clarity about who you really are, you know? All right, what's the last thing here for Taurus? You got the full moon in Leo, man. Come on. We're in Leo season. All right. And it says, go wild. If there's anybody, okay, that needs to go wild right now, Spirit's telling you right now that it's you. You're the only person who got that so far. We only got 2 more signs to go. Go wild. You've been holding yourself back for too long, caging yourself in for too long, listening to everyone else's opinions, values, whatever. And so Spirit is about to really put you in tune with your authentic self, with who you truly are. Okay. And I feel like they're going to start, okay, by putting you in positions where you're going to have to make tough calls. What seems like tough calls, but it's just the act of making the call that is frightening. Okay. And Spirit just wants you to see how much of an illusion that's creating. Just that alone. Fear. Okay. We know what that means. False evidence appearing real, right? All right. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. We're going to move to Gemini, and then we have Cancer, and then we'll end this live for today. So let's get Gemini. Let's get your time. We have 1. We will say, I really hope that the light doesn't pick up on all the music, but I don't know. Okay, Gemini, let's tap in. Dude, take me on my element. Take me on my element. That song just came on and you're beginning of your reading, Gemini. All right. The Emperor. Judgment. Ooh, and the Strength card. 3 major freaking arcanas. It won't take me on my element. Nah, take me. I don't know why. I feel like that is a part of your reading. Yeah, King of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, the Sun, and the 2 of Pentacles. Something in this past timeline you felt like really could have threatened everything you worked hard for. Things that you really built up for yourself. Okay, and I just feel like I'm hearing Spirit say those tests are over. Okay, some of you, I don't know, some of you, this is like a business, because I'm seeing the Emperor, I'm seeing the King of Pentacles, I'm seeing the 8 of Pentacles, which is about work. Gemini, it feels like these tests, okay, where people trying to take you out of your element, some of which it wasn't that they took you out of your element. Remember, listen, we're trying to tap into the authenticity of these things. So it wasn't that they took you out your element. It was that they showed you a part of yourself, okay, that actually exists. It's actually a part of you. All right. So while you were suppressing that part of yourself, okay, Spirit was just trying to tell you, like, nah, you need this. And you probably did need that darker side of yourself, the shadow side of yourself, to fight for whatever it is that you had built on that timeline, whatever it is that you built, okay? Because it was stable. It is stable. The King of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles here. See what I'm saying? The Sun and the 2 of Pentacles, and that's where it happened. The Sun and the 2 of Pentacles. That's where it happened. That was the test. Okay? And it was like one pentacle was like, okay, you can stay in the facade. The other pentacle was like, listen, you can tap into the shadow side. You can show them who you really are and stop playing with these people so they stop playing with you. You know what I'm saying? Take the mask off and yeah, you use your boundary. Okay? And look, the 3 of Swords and the Chariot, I want to speak about that because with the 3 of Swords, I heard ego death. And so a part of you, actually, Spirit saying it didn't die. Okay? It transformed. Okay? And now it's a bigger, it's ingrained in you now. Now you know how to use that shadow part of yourself to help you moving forward. Now you got the Chariot and you gone. You're gone. All right? Let's pull for the new timeline for them, Spirit. Yep, the 9 of Wands. You made it. You, Spirit's like, you made it. Okay, now some of you might feel like you're coming onto this new timeline limping a little bit. All right, you might feel a little tired. All right, but the 6 of Swords, calmer ground. You're out of it. The tests, those are done. All because you acknowledged who you are. Trip just came on. Some of you might literally be taking a trip or a getaway, letting your hair down after whatever transpired on that past timeline. Ace of Wands behind there. That's beautiful. And the 8 of Cups. Yes. Okay. Walking away. Leaving it there. Okay, now some of you might feel a little tired. Like I said, it's not a part of this deck. Coming onto this new timeline. You might feel a little worn, you know. And you might be coming here with less people than you did on the last timeline. Excuse me. All right, you have the new moon in Sagittarius. That's your opposite. That's so cool. It says focus on the positive because that's where you are now. That's where you are now. All right. Yes, and you have the new moon in Taurus with know your worth. And that's what Spirit was saying. Like, don't play this docile role, you know. Tell them, like, it's time. You know, it's a time to activate the shadow. And it seems like you realize that time. Like, hold on, let me just tell these people who I am real quick, you know, so they stop playing in my face right now. All right, so that's what I have for you, beautiful Geminis. Let's go ahead and get to our last sign for today, which is Cancerians. I did not intend for this live to be this long. But here we are. All right, at 2 hours and 22 seconds, starting with Cancerians. All right. You guys will finish us off today, Cancers, because we started with Leo. So this is the last pull. Let me get some water real quick. Temperance, the 8 of Cups. I heard Spirit say you finally healed. You finally healed from it, which means it was hard. It was hard. Okay. Yeah. And the Four of Swords here. Okay. I'm also hearing Spirit say for some of you Cancerians, there was something that you just kept playing over and over in your head. Like you just kept replaying it. And that was, it was just reliving the pain. It was like re-picking the wound every time. Yeah, the Chariot and the Seven of Cups. And so you would feel really confused. Okay, you would feel really confused about moving forward because this thing, whatever this is, kept playing out in your mind. I'm going to go because I'm feeling this intuitively. Some of you, this was about not being portrayed as the bad guy. You wanted to leave something or someone behind, right? Because it hurt you, excuse me, to the core. But you also didn't want to be perceived as like the bad guy or that you're doing something wrong. Some of you could have been dealing with a narcissist, okay? I ain't no psychologist, psychiatrist, or anything like that. You guys know that. I always put a disclaimer. But some of you could have been dealing with someone like that, okay? That really, really made you feel that way, okay? But again, to the message of authenticity, they could have mirrored someone that you already experienced in your lifetime. Okay, like a parent at a younger age, or you know, an elder that you knew, or something like that. Okay, Knight of Pentacles in the world. That's why I heard you finally got to that point. I was thinking, yeah, the Magician here, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Cups. I get it. There was a relationship for a lot of you too. Yo, look at that. As I say, what I'm about to say with this, the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. With the Magician, Ten of Wands, and Six of Cups, you really had faith and hope that that connection was going to come together and work out. By Your Side by Sade just came on. You know, you were really sticking by someone. And again, that's the whole thing that I get too, is like, you could have been under this guise of like, you know, I'm going to ride or die. You know, well, if I leave, then they might think I'm abandoning them, but it was hurting you. You know what I mean? It started to hurt you. And so that's what I'm saying. When it gets to that point, we can no longer do it under the guise of, well, I'm doing this for them. You know, I'm sticking with them for them. We have to be accountable, you know, but that's what this feels like. Yeah. The Two of Cups here, the Ten of Pentacles, constantly trying to talk to this person to, you know, see if you guys could get to something better with the Eight of Pentacles and Page of Swords, Knight of Swords and Eight of Swords, but constantly feeling like you were being met with a dead end, you know, like talking to a brick wall. Okay, and I feel like it had become so heavy for you, Cancer, that you just had no choice but to drop it and leave it on that timeline. What's unfolding for Cancer on this one? Okay. You have the Seven of Cups here and the Two of Wands. For that, Spirit saying for those of you who are really detached from this person, the Seven of Cups is still there because energetically, you could still have some of their energy in or around you, you know. Cord cutting might help with that. A cord cutting ceremony, just verbally releasing that, burning that energy, literally. But Spirit's also saying as you do that, as you clear them out of your energy, your emotions, things like that will start to get way more clear. Okay, your plans for your life, yes, will start to get way more clear. The sun, it will start to feel, you will start to feel this illumination again. Okay, like you're getting clarity and you're able to move with the Eight of Wands here. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles, the more that you pour into yourself. Okay, so all the energy and sticking by that you were doing for this person or whatever the situation was, Spirit's like, on this timeline, you put all of that into yourself. And the Seven of Cups works itself out. All of the, because the Seven of Cups is just about illusions or delusion, okay? On this timeline also, somehow, some way, you see that that person was never the person you thought that they were. You see that you were holding on to the illusion of that person. But it's like you can't see it while you're in it, you know? So as, again, as you start to get their energy more off of you, you realize like they were never that. Like I had made up an ideal of them, or I had clung to who they presented in the beginning, but that wasn't who they really were. We can relate to that. So many of us can relate to that, right? All right. Here. Yeah, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords here. That That's literally what I just said. The veil is lifted, the mask comes off, and it also helps you to live more in your truth authentically as well. Okay? Yeah. All right, let's get your last card out here. And then, as promised, I'm going to read that first card that we had. I'm just going to read the little excerpt for it, and then we'll wrap. Just in case you miss it at the beginning, you can catch it at the end. I know some of you will come back and watch this. The timestamps will be here then. All right, yes, you have the last quarter moon in Scorpio. It says reveal what needs to be seen. That's what's going to happen. Also, I want to mention the Seven of Cups is Scorpio energy. All right, 5, 6, and 7 of Cups are Scorpio's energy. All right, so as you move away from this Cancer, because you've already collapsed it on this old timeline. Now you're getting the energies off of you. You're cleansing the energies off of you. Okay, some of you might be going to Vermont. Okay, that's very random. Okay. All right, let me let me just read this last thing with the Awakener so we bring this thing full circle. Because when that card came out earlier and I was like, you know what, let me just read it and see, it was crazy. I'm like, wow, this is exactly the vibes that I was feeling. This is what I was talking about. So this is the Awakener card. This came out at the beginning of the reading. It says the Awakener calls us to arise from the many centuries of dreary nightmares that have kept us in thrall. If he is the wise morning bird, then we are the sleepwalkers caught in a dazed and stony dream. Okay, and like I said in the beginning, we've been seeing this on a collective scale. All right, we've seen this when Pluto first hit Aquarius. Right now it's retrograde in Capricorn, but when it comes back, oh baby, okay, like the revolution, okay, the revolution will be televised. All right, but we've been seeing that, period. Like you've been seeing the veil lifted, like the sleepwalkers. Okay, those of us who were sleepwalkers, you know, the veil is lifting for everyone in their own time and in their own ways. Okay. It says, look around, see the glazed, blank eyes of so many distracted sleepers stumbling from one small preoccupation to another. This is people not living in their purpose, just going with what the status quo, just going with what they're being told. This is more on a collective level, okay? Just that's changing. You guys see that a lot more too. That's changing. A lot of people are not just doing that, just going with what's always been told, and people doing their own research. We're realizing we're downloading our own truth straight from source, straight from the universe. You know? So what a time, what a beautiful time to be alive for real. Is it not time to break from this state of dulled apathy? I know I'm turning to a second page, but it's not that long, okay? It's like 2 more little small things, excerpts. The struggle between the material and the spiritual is never ending. And those who have a vested interest in keeping us passive consumers, okay, listen, those who have a vested interest in keeping us passive consumers, okay? Now, that's about willful ignorance, right? Because nobody can keep you being a passive consumer, right? Once you clear that eye, once you start having these realizations, that goes back to one, when you know better, you're responsible for doing better, right? And that's why we're seeing so much of this on a collective level, okay? So, and those who have a vested interest in keeping us passive consumers will continue to feed us with syrup and lace our drinks with Mickey fins. And we've seen the tables turning on a massive scale. The power is shifting. Power is shifting on a massive scale. Okay. And what we're going to start to see, and you guys know I've been saying this for like the past 2 years, that the truth will be stranger than fiction. What we're going to start to see is that a lot of what we have been buying into as being real was actually the illusion. So that's why on an individual soul level, it's important to be tapped into who you truly are. Seriously, that's why this message of authenticity, as cliche as it might sound, is very important during this time. Because what we're going to start to see again is that what we've been buying into as far as this world that we live in is the actual illusion. And what you feel in your heart and those downloads that spirit gives you is the truth. Okay? We have a choice. Either we sink deeper into the quicksand of docility and indifference, okay, which is under the guise of being a good person, or we shake ourselves into life. Certainly, it isn't easy to quiet the snoring that echoes through our heads. That spirit acknowledging that it's not an easy path. It's not an easy path. Okay? But if we fail to arise and stand up against the dark horsemen, we will never experience the opportunity to enjoy the benefits of full consciousness, hence sleepwalkers, hence zombies. All right. So I feel like this was so cool. Like literally random pull, this card comes out in Leo season as we're talking about authenticity and killing off those parts of ourselves, or not killing off those parts of ourselves, but integrating um what we thought we had to hide, what we thought the world couldn't see, what we thought wasn't good enough to be shown to the public, to our loved ones, to everyone. All right, so that is what I have for you guys today. I swear to you, I did not intend for this live to be this long, but it is this long. Okay, I'm gonna go back and do the timestamps like right now so they can be there for those of you who might come back and see this at a later time. I did start this kind of early. This is my first live, so I don't know how the sound is. I don't know how it's landing on the other side. So I'll go back and watch. I don't know. I think a few times it might have buffered or cut me off or something like that, but the time kept going. So I appreciate you guys so much. This is also the first time I'm able to thank you guys live for like 2,000 subscribers and constantly growing daily. So I'm gracious, man. Like for real, for real. All right. This experience has been very validating for me, and just peeling off those layers of myself that, you know, the same concept, you know, and that's why I'm really feeling very passionate about this time that we're in. And so I hope that these messages help a lot of you through this time. And again, as I started this message, I'm going to end it with: you are not regressing. If you experience anything we talked about in this reading today, you're on the right path. You're not regressing. You were just shown who you really are, okay, and what the world really needs from you. We don't need a facade. We need all of you raw, authentic, out there, a mess, whatever it is, we need it. All right, so that's what I have for you guys. I'm going to wrap this live because what? Not 3 hours though. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I haven't posted any readings for like 2 days because I really needed to download these energies and ground them into my spirit. But we'll definitely have some. Look for your sign possibly over the weekend. All right. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And we're gonna keep going live. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right. Bye.